Hello YouTube, my name's James. I'm a backyard car enthusiast and can't afford a lot of the nicer fancy fast cars, so kind of try to build some of them myself. Uh, Chose a Mustang because I like Ford and they're pretty cheap to buy and reasonable to fix up. So I'm going to just do a quick little tour of my project car. It's getting close to being done. I probably should have done some videos before, but my house got broken into and my camera got stolen, so I'm borrowing my wife's camera. We're married now. That's a sign of how many years I've been working on this, just on and off. About 3. Been in college, working, so just, maybe one afternoon out of the week working on it and saving money for parts. But it started out as a factory GT car. It had a 4.6 liter 2 valve in it, and I bought a Lincoln, I believe it was a Mark 8 4.64 valve, and MMR convinced me to go with some ported 4 valve heads, so I went ahead and used those heads. And stupid me, I'd already sold the aluminum block from the Lincoln, so I just used the old GT iron block underneath it, put some comp cams in it, and it's got SCT chip. I built the motor myself. It's got forged rods and pistons in it. It's got an H. Hamilton Clark intake. It's kind of cool. Don't see very many of them anymore. I shaved the Cobra emblem off the top with the grinder and smoothed it and then just painted it. You can see it right there. And I went ahead and turboed it, and it's got a 70mm master power turbo on it. Oh, 76mm. You can see it there with the 4-inch downpipe. The turbo kit, the hot side was an old MMR kit, and the downpipe and the exhaust and all the intercooler piping I did myself here at the house. Well, actually, the intercooler piping, I didn't have an aluminum TIG, so I just cut it to fit and took it to a buddy shop, Iron Horse Motorsports here in Corpus. Did the welding. I had already pre-fitted it. It's got a 4-inch intake tube, SCT. I think it's a BA 5000 slot style mass airflow sensor. 4-inch tube all the way to the fender. Kind of looks like a cold air kit. Comes out, goes into an eBay blow-off valve. You can tell it's been sitting in the sun. I've been working on this thing out here without a garage. eBay intercooler. Don't know what it's good for, but horsepower wise, but it'll work. And 3-inch pipe coming around, goes underneath the car. Oh, if I can get down here. And I kind of had to kink it here to make it fit my hot side. And it goes on up to the turbo. It's got a Turbo Smart wastegate. I don't remember what size it is. I think it's like, actually, I don't want to lie, I want to say 38mm. But there's where the hot side comes in. Went in and wrapped everything just because I got so many hoses. You can see there in my oil pan. Went ahead and welded a drain fitting on it while I was building the motor, and goes on up to the turbo. Kept the fan, factory fan. Try to keep it all factory. Still got my power steering pump there. Still got my AC. Still got power steering and power brakes. That little sucker right there is ABS module. I'm trying to get rid of it. I just ordered a delete kit with a line lock set up in it because I couldn't bleed the brakes and I'm having trouble with it. So that's kind of my hold up now. It's about a 2-week wait for that little block, and should be in. I bought a eBay aluminum radiator. It's supposed to fit this car. It really didn't. I think it was for a newer car, but I just kind of made it fit. It's a little bigger than my factory one, and it's all aluminum. So, and we got a 4-inch downpipe coming off the turbo. Comes around, and I bought this trick little piece from I believe it was Dr. Gas. It's a thin down piece of pipe. It's supposed to, instead of you smashing like a 4-inch pipe down, it's supposed to guarantee the proper flow for that diameter pipe. It was very expensive. It was like over $100 for that little piece. But as you can see, that's about the minimum clearance I would have. So it worked out perfect for my coilover kit. When the car's actually sitting on its own weight, it gives me actually a little bit more room, because this whole A-arm and everything comes up, and you can see that angle how it would increase. So it worked out. Brought it down through the K-member, eBay, V-band clamps, you know, just doing the budget cheap thing. There's an acid in my oil pan. I took the factory one and actually cut the bottom off and fabricated a new lower tank. So I don't know how much oil it holds, but it's a bunch. I'm not gonna like changing oil in it. I kind of regret it, but at the same time, I think it'll keep the oil cooler, and maybe it'll ensure that my pickup is always submerged. I don't know. I just didn't want to spend the money for a high dollar pan when I could just weld it up with some sheet steel, and that's what I did. Lakewood bell housing, factory clutch fork and factory clutch cable and stuff, but I have a spec clutch inside there. And the cool part, I haven't really seen anyone do yet, I've installed a Lenco transmission. It's an ST1200 5-speed. It's got reverse. It's the street version, not the racing. So it has aluminum case. It's a shade heavier and a little less stronger. I think it's rated at like 1200 foot-pounds or something, or 1200 horse, I don't know. But there's my homemade merge dual 3-inch exhaust. I haven't finished it because I do run the side exhaust skirts. Just kind of dualed it out right there for now. I'll bring it out to the side of the car as I work on it some more and use some SVO side skirts. Kind of crawling around here. It's got a strange drive shaft with 1350 U-joints, which I believe are the same ones that come in like the 1-ton Fords and stuff. I know it was the same U-joint that fit my truck because I had some laying around. But that's it. It's pretty cool. It's strange. You just measure the length that you want and fill out their order form and send it in to them, and they'll make it, custom make it to whatever length. It's a chromoly tube with forged ends. You can get chromoly ends, but I didn't want to spend extra cash. Forged is plenty. That slip yoke, that's kind of hard to find. This piece right here, I ended up finding one on eBay because I thought I had a 1480 U-joint, but it was a 1350. I should have tried to put my truck U-joints in it, and I didn't. So now I have 2 of them. But I'm only using one, of course. I guess that extras don't hurt. And that's a Lakewood drive shaft safety loop. I did have to kind of modify it because I had to move it back because this Lenco is very long. And the transmission mount's kind of cool. Built it myself. Here it is right here. You can kind of see it. Kind of put some holes to reduce some weights, like 1/4-inch plate on a piece of old roll cage tubing. And just kind of built my own bushings. You can see there how I notched the pipe and heated it and welded it up. Welded an exhaust hanger, stainless steel, hopefully it doesn't rust out. And it's just basically a bar with some tabs that bolt to each case. I didn't do every case. Actually, the front one is the only one way up there that I didn't catch. I didn't think the mount needed to have that many connections, and I knew it was already going to be kind of a hassle to fit, so that's what I did there. And you can see I had to cut the floorboard out and make a new transmission hump. You can kind of see where my welds penetrated through there. You can't see it real good from under here. I'll get up on top and here in a minute and show you, but here I kind of had to box a little bit for the reverse lever, which you can see right here. That's forward and reverse. This rear gear case is basically your drive engagement, neutral, forward, reverse, and that's what its purpose is. But I'll show you on the top here in a second what I had to do to make that fit. As far as here's my fuel lines. They're just a little quick connect Summit hose, and I think I used like a 10-aught, and a return is a 6 AN or 6-aught, whatever you want to call it. Fuel hose. I've got a Aeromotive A1000 fuel pump and Aeromotive fuel rails, and I used I believe it was Granatelli. It was a fuel tank insert kit. Has a return and a feed nipple already on it, and you just slide it in your factory tank and hook up your hoses, and that's what I did for simplicity. I'm not sure how much power it'll support. It was a 10 AN and a 6 AN return, same as the hose, but a lot of people like to weld a box on their tank, so it's always getting fuel. I figured I'll just keep fuel in my tank and cheap out, make it a little easier. There's I had to change the yoke on my rear end. That is a eBay 8.8 Ford forged pinion yoke. I couldn't believe they had them on eBay, but they were real cheap, and I just bought it and got some standard 1-ton U-joint U-bolts, or I'm not really sure if that's what they're called, but that's what that is. And the rear end's built. It's got 355 gears, Detroit True Track. Thinking about changing it to a spool just to make sure I go straight every time, but so far the True Track's been good. I haven't got to drive this car yet, so like it is. I had it turboed before with the stock motor and it was great, but this is going to be a whole nother ball game. I don't know who made those arms. I think they're Granatelli. They're adjustable, kind of standard Mustang stuff, you know. One end is got the Heim. It's fully adjustable in the center for pinion angle and stuff. And I went in and changed to some harder rubber in the differential bushings. I heard they would crack on me, so I may end up pulling them out and putting solid, but I'm going to go ahead and wait till they crack. Hopefully they hold up. If they don't, oh well, I'll replace them when it happens. You can see I welded the axle tube there, both sides. I want to build a plate and get that pinion snubber where it's functional again. It's got a UPR sway bar, or anti-roll bar, welded in. Hopefully that'll keep the car, help it go straight. That's actually where my old turbo used to be. I had a remote mount set up, got rid of it. It was a home built thing too. Worked really good, but I just wanted something where I didn't have to worry about water and maintenance in the air filters. They got awfully dirty. Here in Texas, a lot of dirt roads and stuff, so just kind of got tired of the maintenance with it. It worked great though. There's my other control arms. I think they came with the uppers when I bought them, and some, I can't remember. I think those are called ground pounder drag springs. I don't even think they're in business anymore. I don't know if they help. I had them on the car before when it was turboed, and I can say this, I don't know if it helped the traction, but it sure as hell made the car ride a lot smoother, and so I kept them just for that.